energy. It's flowing in from every living thing in this world.
I don't care how much energy you collect. It will never compete with the gods!
Here we go, everyone! We'll defeat Zamasu! Damn about you, or your so-called justice!
But how? It can't be!
Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Dragon Ball. This time around, I'm going to be covering the Future Trunks saga of Dragon Ball Super. Forgot the name for a second. So, yeah, we got a lot of episodes to go through, and yeah, I'm just gonna take a wild guess. This is probably a long video, so grab a drink, grab a sandwich, go use the bathroom, because we're gonna be here a while. So, I'm going to go somewhat point by point, and we're just going to go through the whole thing, the whole shebang, and we're just going to talk about it. So, yeah. Here we go. Alright. The first thing to talk about is obviously the beginning. We cut to the alternate timeline, where basically from Dragon Ball Z, the split timeline where it's really only Trunks and Bulma that are left after the androids, and everything was going well because Trunks, went to not the regular timeline. Technically, his is the normal timeline, but he goes to the other timeline, trains, defeats Cell, goes back to his timeline, and goes and defeats the androids. So everything should be good, but it's not. Because now we have a new enemy, Goku Black. Really interesting villain, and obviously we're going to talk a lot about Goku Black in this. But yeah, starting off, interesting. First off, his design is kind of interesting. He's actually not buff like Goku is. Like, you look at Goku and, like, you could, probably if Goku was real, you could barely, like, put your hands together around his arm, because he's got some muscles. Goku Black is different though. He doesn't seem to have a lot of muscles. He also seems to have this weird black energy around him, which is really interesting, and we'll get to that in a bit. So yeah. So we get this cool fight scene between Trunks and Goku Black. I could make a side note. Trunks' hair is blue. In all other anime I've seen him in, even in this anime with Kid Trunks, his hair is purple. It's very strange that they changed it to blue, but whatever. Yeah, everyone brings that up, so I figured I might as well talk about it too. So, things are really bad. Goku Black is destroying the world. Also, he looks like Goku, which is weird. We're not sure why. And during all this, Trunks is basically planning to go back in time again, go to the alternate timeline, get reinforcements, come back and defeat Goku Black. So, before he can do that, Bulma, future Bulma, is actually killed by Black, and that's heart-wrenching right there. And then, big surprise, Mai is actually in the future as one of the like lead generals against Goku Black. I'm trying. I guess I should have said at the beginning of this there are a lot of spoilers. There's going to be a ton of spoilers for this arc. Yeah, I'm gonna try to like. I'm only gonna I'm only gonna say spoilers as they come. So yeah, it's really hard even right off the bat because I just want to say who Goku Black really is. But anyway, so yeah, Mai is like a general of the resistance against Goku Black, which is really cool. And she ends up dying. We'll talk about that a bit later. And basically, they sacrifice themselves so that Trunks can go back in time. Sure enough, he does. And then... So, Trunks goes back in time. He's a little beat up, so they get him a sensu bean. And we have an interesting relationship now. We have a interesting chemistry now between Trunks, and Mai. Because if you remember from previous sagas, Emperor Pilaf and Mai and Shu are like kids, and they are there, like at the Capsule Corp compound, I guess. I don't know what they call it, the house, Bulma's place. And so now it's interesting. Future Trunks recognizes Mai because of the future. So we have an interesting chemistry there. And we also have chemistry between Trunks and Trunks. Because the last time Trunks was here, the last time future Trunks was here, Trunks was still a baby. Now, he's older. It's been maybe 10 years since the Cell games. Not really sure. So yeah, we get a lot of interesting scenes between Trunks and Trunks. And there's a really funny scene when Trunks first shows up, and Kid Trunks is trying to figure out who he is. And it's like, this guy looks exactly like me. And then Bulma is like, oh, come on, Trunks, you can make it through this. And he's like, what, he even has my name? What? So, that's funny. But, here's something interesting. Beerus is not amused with time travel. In fact, time travel is taboo. Like, you really cannot do any time travel. It is forbidden across the multiverse. So that's interesting. Luckily, Beerus doesn't destroy the Earth because they give him a sausage. You can always win over Beerus and Whis with food. So there's that. It also is interesting. It's like this huge forbidden thing that no one can do. And Bulma made a time machine on her own with a box of scraps. So that's really cool. So Trunks gets all healed up, and he starts training while they fix up a new time machine. Is that right? I think, actually. No, these are off, actually. My bad. My notes are a bit out of order. Okay, here's what actually happens. He does get all healed up thanks to the sensu bean, and Goku Black actually shows up in the past. Which, in the... I guess we'll call it the Z timeline. So, yeah. Shows up in the Z timeline, and we get a fight between Goku and Goku Black, which is interesting. So, yeah, Goku pretty much... He doesn't have a hard time with Black. He never goes Super Saiyan Blue. He kind of remains at Super Saiyan 2, which is interesting. And Goku Black never goes Super Saiyan. We're really not sure if he can go Super Saiyan. We're not really sure what he is at this point. So, yeah, it's an interesting fight. We get to see some of Black's strange, like, aura. Because he is very different. He's not giving off a general aura. It's a black aura. So that's interesting, and eventually Black is sucked back into the other timeline because of the time ring that he's wearing, which is interesting. Before Black is sucked back, though, he does destroy Trunks' time machine so that they can't get back and stop him. But, luckily, they still have Cell's time machine, which is Trunks' time machine, except Cell used it. So we spent some time cleaning it up, getting it ready for time travel, and basically Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks start to train. Trunks finally sees Super Saiyan Blue, which is interesting. He's basically never gone past Super Saiyan 2, which is really interesting. But we can assume that he's kind of been in a time of peace for a while. The only thing we know about that has happened since the defeat of the androids, other than Goku Black, is Majin Buu. He says, like, I've already defeated Majin Buu because the Supreme Kai helped me stop Babidi and Deborah before they could unleash Majin Buu, which is really funny because it's so funny that, Trunks is just one Saiyan, and he managed to stop them before Buu hatched, and so Buu was never really a problem for him. Whereas you go over to what actually happened in Dragon Ball Z, we have Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan all going in to take on Babidi and Deborah, and they just don't, and they all screw up, and they take too long and Majin Buu escapes, which is why we get the whole Majin Buu arc. So I just find that funny that Trunks just prevented it from ever happening. Because you could even argue that, and it's been a little while, it's been a few months since I've watched the Majin Buu saga, so, correct me if I'm wrong. Just feel free to correct me in the comments, but pretty much, like, it's interesting because with them, they sort of have, I guess, the Saiyan pride, honestly, and the fact that they all really want to fight. And, I kind of mentioned this in my last Super review, but they all really, really want to friggin' fight. And they all want to fight so bad, but Trunks is not like that, because Trunks is a survivor. Trunks is not trying to, get more powerful so he can be the most powerful and stuff. It's like, he's getting more power. He gets more powerful because he has to. That's the cool thing about Trunks, is that he's not a Saiyan. He's a survivor. And I'm wondering if we're gonna talk about that. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So there's that, and then Vegeta and Trunks train, and he first witnesses Super Saiyan Blue, which is crazy. And while they're training, Beerus, Whis, and Goku actually go to the 10th universe because Beerus and Whis think that they know someone who has a similar energy aura like Black. So they go to the Supreme Kai of the 10th universe, Gowasu, and the Supreme Kai in training, Zamasu. And we get a scene where Zamasu, so he's being trained to become the next Supreme Kai of the 10th universe. Really interesting. But he's not fully there yet. He's still got a lot to learn. And one of the things he asks Gowasu about is, why do they take care of mortals when mortals seem to always screw things up? They never really learn any lessons. So why do the Kais even bother with mortals? And Gowasu basically says, like, the Kais exist to nurture the mortals, basically, and help them in their path. But the Kais do not directly interfere with the mortals. So it's a very interesting thing to talk about, but you can start to tell that Zamasu he's got some beef with mortals, which will come up later, I'm sure you know. So Beerus, Whis, and Goku show up, and Zamasu is already thinking, like, why is there a mortal here? in this, on the Supreme Kai planet. I'm assuming this is the other world of the 10th universe, but they never really say, and this might be brought up a little bit later. Yeah. So, basically, it looks like Zamasu has never met Goku. So they're unsure if he really is Goku Black. And to see, they basically have Goku fight Zamasu. And initially Zamasu is like offended, like, fight a mortal. I'm stepping over my words. Whoopsies. Or tripping over them. That's the phrase. I'm gonna take how about I take a quick breather, get some water, rest my voice. 1 second. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay, so we get Goku versus Zamasu, and initially, Gowasu says, like, now remember, he's immortal, so you better pull your punches. And Goku's like, whoa, we're not pulling any punches here. This gotta be a legit fight. And Goku's being rude because that's what Super does to Goku, apparently. Because Goku's an idiot in this show, which we may talk about a bit later, who knows. But Beerus says, like, no, actually, he's right. Don't pull any punches with a Saiyan. And both Gowasu and Zamasu are confused, but they agree to it. And we get a fight between Goku and Zamasu. Goku only goes up to Super Saiyan 2, though. It's interesting, he's pulling out Super Saiyan 2 a lot more now, which is really interesting. And then, yeah. So we get that, and pretty much even at Super Saiyan 2, Goku still wins, which is interesting. And basically, Zamasu does use the energy similar to Black, but it's not quite like the energy Black has. So the fight ends, and Beerus, Whis, and Goku leave, and Zamasu thinks to himself, well, this has been enlightening, because now mortals are more of a threat than I realized. And I will never forget what happened here. It's like, oh boy. By the way, Zamasu is actually voiced by James Marsters, who portrayed Piccolo in Dragon Ball Evolution, which, good on you, man. Great to have him actually in Dragon Ball. That's really cool. I know a lot of people hate Dragon Ball Evolution. I actually think it's bad, but it's funny bad. But I will say the cast in Dragon Ball Evolution worked. So, not the point. Let's move on. That's not important. I wrote out this huge detailed list of everything I need to talk about for this arc, but honestly, oh god, there's so much. But honestly, I'm going to try to skip through some of these. Goku was summoned by the Grand Zeno. I talked about him a bit in my last Super video, and basically the Grand Zeno wants to play. But Goku is, busy. He's about to go to the future to stop Goku Black, and he says, "Okay, I really can't play right now, but I will come back, and I will bring someone that's even more fun than me to play with." And the Grand Zeno was like, "Okay, well, see you then." It's like that's exciting. That'll be fun. All right, you go do what you need to do. And yeah. So that's really cool. My initial thought is the person he should bring to meet the Grand Zeno is actually Hercule, Mr. Satan. Because if there's anyone that can keep an all-powerful being happy, it's Mr. Satan, as we've seen in the Majin Buu saga. So after this, Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks go to the alternate timeline, and we get Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks versus Goku Black. And we also see that Mai is actually still alive. That's all nice and good. Also, Yajirobe is still alive. I find that funny. that he has just managed to stay hidden for so long, even throughout the Android saga and stuff, that he's still alive, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so it's an interesting fight between the three of them and Goku Black, and Goku Black has basically been training, and basically he's gotten stronger since his fight with Goku. Oh, excuse me. He's gotten a lot stronger because they say that his body is Goku's. It's like, it's straight up Goku's body. And, it's interesting. So basically, like, with all the damage he takes, he keeps getting stronger. Now, this is a concept that was used heavily on Namek back in the Namek saga when, because that's basically how Vegeta kept getting stronger, is that after his defeat with Goku, after his battle with Goku, he got stronger enough to kill Kui. Then he got stronger enough to take on Dodoria. Then he got stronger enough to take on Zarbon. Then he lost to Zarbon, but that made him stronger, and he beat Zarbon. And yeah, and then he got a lot stronger when he fought the Ginyu Force. And then he got stronger after he fought Frieza. Not strong enough to beat Frieza, but it was something. So this is a thing with Saiyans. Saiyans get stronger every time they fight. They abuse that with Goku Black, though. It's... Alright. So, Goku Black... Basically, they keep making it to where every time he gets punched, it's like it phases him, but then he's just like, now I'm stronger. And it's like, whoa, okay, it's not that immediate. Like, every time they punch Goku Black, he gets like maybe 1,000 power levels higher is the only way I could put it. And maybe that's not a good example. But he gets substantially stronger every freaking time they hit him. Which, if this is Goku's body, that's not how Goku's body works. Otherwise, he would just be the best. And you could argue that he is the best. But every time Goku surpasses something, it's not because he got punched a lot. It's because he surpassed it himself. That's the thing. And if that was the case, they would never bleed. Because Goku Black never bleeds, which is an interesting animation choice. But you never see real physical damage on him. So, yeah. Now, that could be because, and we'll get into this in a little bit, but it's Goku's body, but it's still a different energy from Goku's. So, yeah. It's a combination of Goku's body and this energy, this different type of energy that he has that makes him different, that apparently makes him a lot stronger, and so much stronger that he finally knows how to go Super Saiyan, which, okay, that's not how you go Super Saiyan. He just goes Super Saiyan. He goes all the way, technically, to Super Saiyan Blue. Now, it's not exactly blue. His hair doesn't go blue, it goes pink, honestly. It goes pink, he calls it Super Saiyan Rosé, like a real, you know, like a prick, basically. He calls it Super Saiyan Rosé, like some really prick. Excuse me. Alright, yeah, his hair goes pink, so technically he's on the level of Super Saiyan Blue. But it's very strange, and I guess I'm going to have to talk about this a bit later when we reveal who Goku Black really is, but yeah. Moving on, in the middle of this fight with Goku Black, the clouds part, and down from the heavens comes Zamasu. And not only is Zamasu here, he's working with Goku Black. And not only is he working with Goku Black, he's invincible. Like, literally invincible. He takes no permanent damage. Everything else heals. He's just invincible. And the three of them get wrecked. Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks get wrecked. And they go back to the past. And so, yeah, so that happened. I'm gonna take another break. Yeesh. We still have. Ooh. Well, we're speeding through this. Like, the good news is, like, some of this stuff, like, we're gonna start churning through pretty fast. So yeah. One sec. And I'm back. All right. So we return to the past, and everyone gets all healed up, and they're trying to come up with a plan to go back, basically. And yeah. So while they're doing this, they tell Beerus and Whis that Zamasu was there, and basically that he's the Supreme Kai. Like, I think he has the earrings of the Supreme Kai. And so they figure out that the only way for this to have happened is for Zamasu to kill Goasu, basically. So Beerus, Whis, Goku, and the Supreme Kai actually go to the 10th universe, and basically they talk to Zamasu and Goasu again, and things seem to be alright, and it's like, alright, well, here's some dumplings, bye. The four of them leave, and they stop just outside of the Supreme Kai's planet, I guess Goasu's planet, technically. And, yeah, so Whis uses his staff so that they can see what's happening, and sure enough, Zamasu kills Goasu. And that is exactly what they needed to see. Whis takes them back in time 3 minutes, because that's one of Whis' powers, basically. And we head back. We go back to the 10th universe just before he kills Goasu. And they pretty much just stop him. And they reveal what he was going to do to Goasu. And Zamasu's like, it doesn't matter. I'll take you all on. And Beerus just grabs his hand and stops him. He's like, not today. Hakai. And just says that. And Zamasu just evaporates. Like, it just disintegrates. It's like freaking Infinity War. And he's dead. Zamasu is straight up dead. So, problem solved? Well, they think the problem is solved, because now that Zamasu was killed, he shouldn't be there in the future. But Trunks has a hard time believing this, because he's dealt with time travel before. This is what he thought would happen when he first went back in time to save Goku. He thought that his future would be saved. It wasn't. Instead, we got the multiverse theory. Well, we got the multiverse, technically, which is interesting because there's already a multiverse. So there's a multiverse, and then within each universe is its own multiverse with the timelines. So there's two timelines coexisting together, but they're different. And you can't go back in time and change this timeline, because if you go and you change something, it just creates another timeline, basically. And that timeline will still exist. And he talks about this in this great scene where he explains it to his younger self, basically. And he says, look, you and I are technically the same person. You're Trunks, I'm Trunks. But we've lived totally different lives. And Beerus says that, well, sure, that's how time travel normally works. But since I am a god, it changed everything. And it's like, So yeah. But on Beerus' word, they go back. They actually take Bulma this time. So Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, and Bulma go back to Trunks' future. And guess what? Didn't work. It didn't work. They reveal Goku Black is still there. And first off, the Zamasu that's there is from that timeline, and Goku Black is different. Well, Goku Black... Okay, well, first off, he still has a time ring. Goku Black has a time ring. Wearing the time ring basically makes him unaffected by changes to the timeline. So, okay, and I guess it's time to reveal the big spoiler. Goku Black is Zamasu. Yeah, Goku Black is actually Zamasu. The Zamasu that was killed. And they say that because he's wearing the time ring, it prevented his death. It prevented him from being erased from existence by Beerus. So, yes, the timeline changed, but basically he's a time remnant. He's a remnant of that timeline where he was successful. And yeah, team gets wrecked again. Everyone gets wrecked, and they do reveal basically how it all happened. Zamasu used the Super Dragon Balls. Okay, so he kills Goasu, and this is a successful timeline, basically. So, pretty much, you can argue that Goku Black is Zamasu from the unaltered timeline. But when Whis took them back in time and they prevented Goasu's death, it created a new timeline. So, yeah. So, in the unaltered timeline, Zamasu kills Goasu and then uses the Super Dragon Balls to swap bodies with Goku. And then he goes to Earth, kills Goku, kills Chi-Chi, kills Goten, kills everyone, basically. And then goes to Trunks' timeline, recruits Zamasu from his timeline by killing Goasu again. They're both then the Supreme Kai, and they both wreck Trunks' world, basically. Which sounds really, really weird. Don't take that out of context. So, yeah, that happens, and the team gets wrecked, and they return to the past again. At which point, they try to figure out how they can beat Zamasu. The Zamasu that's invincible. And going forward, to basically differentiate them, the Zamasu that is Goku Black, I'm calling Goku Black. And the Zamasu from Trunks' timeline, I'm calling Zamasu. So just so you're not confused. So they don't know what to do on how to beat Zamasu because he's invincible. And Piccolo comes up with the idea of using the evil containment wave. Whoa, yes! We're bringing something back from Dragon Ball, the original series. That's awesome. So yeah, the evil containment wave. And Piccolo basically says like, well, Goku, I'll teach you how to do it. And Goku's like, well, I better talk to Master Roshi. He's the expert. And then there he goes. So, yeah. But, okay, we'll talk about that a bit later. So, Goku learns the evil containment wave, and we're back to the future. And while we're in the future, Goasu and the Supreme Kai appear. And I say, that might be confusing too. I say Goasu because he's given the name Goasu. Technically, the Supreme Kai of the 7th universe is called Shin, I believe. They really just refer to him as the Supreme Kai, though. They really only called him Shin in the tournament during the Majin Buu saga. So, yeah, I'm just going to call him the Supreme Kai, so in case you're confused. 34 minutes. This is going to be a nightmare to edit. So yeah, Goasu and the Supreme Kai appear because they want to try to talk... Well, Goasu wants to try to talk to Zamasu and Goku Black, for that matter. And then we get Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks versus Goku Black and Zamasu once again, with some good moments. Vegeta goes after Goku Black because Goku is going to try to use the evil containment wave. and we get this really cool moment where Vegeta says, like, you didn't earn your power. You just stole Kakarot's body. Kakarot built that power himself. You're just a counterfeit, and I am the Prince of all Saiyans. So that happens, which is really awesome. Oh, alright, so we get that, and then Goku and Vegeta are getting wrecked again, and, basically, Trunks is also in the fight, and he's starting to get wrecked, and he just, like, loses it, and we get a whole new form of Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan Rage. It's so cool looking. Basically, he retains his yellow hair and his yellow aura, but inside of his yellow aura is a blue aura. Whoa. And yeah, it's basically a new form of Super Saiyan. From what I've been able to read and what I can tell, it's basically just a powered up Super Saiyan 2, which is really cool. But yeah, it's really, really cool. It still doesn't beat them though. And so Trunks goes back to Bulma and Mai, and they're trying to figure out what can they really do, and Bulma suggests, well, let's still do the evil containment wave. But how? Without Goku is, getting the crap beat out of him. I don't remember exactly what the reason was for why Goku couldn't do it himself. I'm sure there was a valid reason. I don't remember it. I'm sorry, this is a lot for me to remember. So yeah, but Bulma reveals that she actually took a phone video. She filmed Piccolo doing the evil containment wave, and just by watching that, Trunks learns it like that. So that's pretty cool. And he tries it on Zamasu, and it actually works. They actually contain Zamasu, and it's just really cool because we get, the whole, the green vortex around Zamasu and stuff, and putting him into the, the jar. It's really cool to see that come back. But they forgot the enchantment from Master Roshi. Goku left it behind, so they can't contain him, and Zamasu breaks free. And then, oh god, we still got a lot to go through. And then we have something even more interesting. Goku Black and Zamasu fuse, because they have the Supreme Kai earrings. So Zamasu takes his, puts it on his other ear, which is the opposite of where Goku Black's is, and the two of them fused into Fusion Zamasu. And it's basically Zamasu if he had Goku's hair and it was white, and he has like this interesting, like, angelic halo around him. So yeah, now we get Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks versus Fusion Zamasu. A couple things to point out with this battle that are really cool. We get the father-son Gallic gun, which is so cool. Because Zamasu is like throwing what looks like a tiny star at them. Which is similar, I think, to a move Beerus used. Correct me if I'm wrong, but... And then, oh yeah, excuse me. And then, to sort of stop it before it hits the surface, Trunks uses the Gallic gun, and then Vegeta comes in, and he uses the Gallic gun, and it's so cool. And they do actually repel it back, and it blows up in Zamasu's face, but he's invincible. It doesn't scratch him at all. And we get another Vegeta curse word, another instance of Vegeta cursing. He's like, "Oh, come on, you invincible son of a bitch." It's like, whoa, Vegeta, man, PG-13 up in here. Again, I pointed out in my last video, the cursing is very, weird because in the English dubs, let me be clear, I know people have pointed out to me that in the Japanese versions they swear a lot. I don't care, I don't watch the Japanese versions. I'm talking dubs. And in the dubs, to me, they've never really done that. So, yeah. But I will say, Vegeta cursing makes sense, honestly. It's when Goku curses that I like take a step back. Like, that doesn't seem natural for Goku. But, anyway, before they show that he's invincible, they think that they got Zamasu. And Vegeta's like, good work. I'm proud of you, son. And he's like, he's actually proud of him. We went through the entire Android Saga and Cell games of Vegeta just being a dick to Trunks, and now, finally, Vegeta is proud of him. I think because now he sees the future Trunks lives in, where he's the last remaining warrior to step up against any evil. Vegeta gets it now, so that's really cool. And then Zamasu is revealed to still be alive and unscratched, and before he can attack them again, Goku comes over, and you know what? Watch this clip.
You're back for more?
Zamasu!
Get ready, because I'm about to turn out all your lights!
Get him, Goku!
You simple-minded Saiyan! It is the light of the mortals that will soon be extinguished! Oh, great holy wrath! Smite the wicked! Best me, you filthy mortal! You won't beat me!
Alright, did you watch that? Oh my gosh. I obviously you watched that. But, oh my gosh. Basically, as soon as he said, Kame, it's like, oh shit. It's getting real. It's getting real. And, oh my gosh. So yeah. You know it's serious when Sean Shamel busts out his, what I call his Super Saiyan 4 voice. Because his Super Saiyan 4 voice is a lot deeper and more gravelly than the normal Goku voice. So when he busts that out for a Kamehameha, you know it's serious. So, and that actually damages Zamasu. Like, the right half of his body becomes like goo, and it's all gross and stuff. And Goku figures this out, and he goes over and he starts kicking him. Because actually, Goku's arms go limp because he uses the full power. He uses his full power in that Kamehameha, so his arms go limp for a little while. So he goes over and he starts kicking the crap out of Zamasu. And then Zamasu just grabs his leg and starts, like, hitting him with all these, like, it's like energy spikes that, like, 1,000 of them that he's drilling into Goku's leg. It looks so painful. And then Goku's like, no. And he gets his Super Saiyan Blue aura. That's not enough. And then, oh my gosh, I'm fanboying all over the place. But, so he gets his strength back, he does the Super Saiyan Blue aura, and then he just says, Kaioken! And the red aura goes around that, and it's like, yes, that's so cool. So yeah, so he knocks down Zamasu, and that pretty much drains like a lot of his power. And then he goes over to where Trunks and Vegeta are, because Vegeta was actually hit by lightning. Zamasu's lightning after their Gallic Gun. And Supreme Kai and Goasu are there. And they basically ask, why isn't Zamasu regenerating like he normally does? why is half of him goo? And Gowasu basically says, Zamasu's body has become impervious to permanent damage, but Black's hasn't. And half of this combined Zamasu comes from Black. So half of Zamasu's body is not invincible, which is really interesting. It basically means Zamasu gave himself his own weakness. That's so cool. Okay, we're on 44 minutes on this recording. I know I got a lot more to talk about, and my phone weirdly caps at 50 minutes for a recording. So yeah, I'm gonna have to start a new recording, guys, which is good. My voice needs a minute to rest. So yeah, 1 second. Okay, where was I? So, Goku gets the idea to use the Batara, the Supreme Kai earrings, to fuse with Vegeta. Alright, what was I saying last video? The last time I did Dragon Ball Super, I was like, man, Goku doesn't want to fuse anymore. What the heck? He was the one that was, when things were dire, he would fuse, and now he never wants to do that. That's stupid. Oh, we're done with that. Goku realizes how serious this is, and Vegeta does too, and they fuse with the Batara. And so we get Vegito Blue. Vegito comes out and he's all cool. He goes Super Saiyan Blue, and we get Vegito Blue versus Fusion Zamasu, which has the best animation of the entire show. Like, this is fast-paced, it's brutal, it's awesome. This is a great friggin' fight. But it doesn't last forever. I don't even remember when this happened, but also, to mention, at some point, Trunks broke his sword. Something to mention. He goes back wherever... Trunks goes to where everyone else is, and basically takes his broken sword, and then makes a new blade out of energy. It's an energy blade now, and it's all cool. And he realizes, I need to be the one to end this with Zamasu. And so, Vegito is still, kicking butt, doing a final Kamehameha, which is so cool. But it doesn't last. It doesn't last because Vegeta and Goku actually unfuse. And Supreme Kai is like, why did they do that? And I thought they had an hour. Because they say in the Majin Buu saga that a fusion with the Batara is permanent. But it wasn't, obviously, in the Majin Buu saga. So Goku asks about that, and Gowasu says, well, it's only permanent if a Supreme Kai is involved. Of course, then you think, well, it's not permanent because the Supreme Kai used the Dragon Balls to unfuse with Kibito. I think that's how that worked. You might correct me, but he unfused with Kibito somehow. So yeah. So Goku and Vegeta unfuse because Gowasu says it's because of their immense power level. It drained all the time. Similar to, again, in the Majin Buu story, where, Goku had 24 hours on Earth before he would be taken back into Otherworld. And his time got a lot shorter when he used Super Saiyan 3. His power was too great. So, yeah. So Goku and Vegeta get beat up a little bit more, and Trunks comes over with his sword. He starts fighting. He really can't do any damage still. He doesn't do any damage to Zamasu. And then he basically says, like, no, we're all in this. We're all going to beat you. And then everyone starts glowing. Trunks starts glowing. Mai starts glowing. Bulma, Yajirobe, all the soldiers, all the kids, they all start glowing. And then we get a spirit bomb. Yeah, Trunks involuntarily made a spirit bomb, which is so cool, because that's the one thing I didn't think of. You know, they're going through this whole thing of how do we beat Zamasu. It never crossed my mind to use a spirit bomb. Because, honestly, the spirit bomb has only worked once, and that's against Majin Buu, because he was pure evil. But Zamasu is kind of pure evil. There's nothing good about him. So, Trunks goes up, goes into the spirit bomb, absorbs it, and then channels all the power into his sword, making like Cloud's Buster Sword. And he goes over and he attacks Zamasu and he starts doing some real damage. And then he stabs him, and he pulls out the sword, and he goes and he slices up through Zamasu all the way up, splits him in half. And he's dead. Whoa. Zamasu is dead. Killed by the Spirit Sword, as I'm calling it. Apparently it's called the Sword of Hope. I call it the Spirit Sword, so yeah. But guess what? That's not over yet. Zamasu's essence is still alive. Because he's invincible. Now, technically, Goku Black is completely gone at this point. But because Zamasu is invincible, his essence is still there. He's still technically alive. And we get what I call Zamasu Gigas. Yeah, you know, in Earthbound, the final boss, Gigas. That's what Zamasu becomes. And he spreads his dark aura across the entire multiverse. It's crazy. So what do you do against that? They try blasting it, it doesn't work. And then Goku remembers that, and I didn't talk about this, I'm sorry, but Goku got a button from the Grand Zeno. Like, the Grand Zeno gave him, like, a button, and if you press it, the Grand Zeno will appear, which is crazy. I'm sure that would give Beerus a heart attack. And so Goku gets the idea, well, wait, shouldn't there be a Grand Zeno in this timeline? And he presses the button. Sure enough, the Grand Zeno appears. Not the same Grand Zeno. He has no idea who Goku is. But he basically looks around and he was like, this place sucks. Man, this place looks... This is really gross and weird and dark, and I don't like it. Did you make this? And Goku's like, I did not. That dude did. And Goku's like, something should be done about this, right? And Zeno's like, yes. Everything must end. And Goku's just like, everyone in the time machine now! Gowasu and Supreme Kai use the time rings to go back to their reality, to their timeline. Trunks, Bulma, and Mai get in the time machine. Goku and Vegeta just like grab on to like the legs of the time machine, and they all go back, and Zeno destroys all of reality in that timeline. The entire multiverse is gone in that timeline. And yeah. Immediately, so everyone gets back, the five of them get back, and then Goku and Trunks go back to the timeline, the other timeline, and they go, and everything's just gone. Everything is completely gone. And it's crazy, and the only thing remaining is the Grand Zeno. And Goku's like, hey Zeno, you wanna come with us? And he's like, sure. So they take the Grand Zeno to their timeline. We get a funny scene where, you know, it freaks out Beerus again. And then it's basically like, well, what do you do with the Grand Zeno from another timeline? And Goku has this great idea, this brilliant idea I wish I would have thought of. But he takes the Grand Zeno of Trunks' timeline to the Grand Zeno of their timeline. So now, the Grand Zeno has a friend. Himself. Would not have thought of that in a million years. That is cool, and it's basically, other than Goku, the only person that understands the Grand Zeno is the Grand Zeno. Because the Grand Zeno gets bored because no one really treats him like a normal person. Because they're all afraid of him. Except Goku. Goku is so different from everyone else. And then Zeno is exactly who he needs. So, yeah. So we go back to Earth, and Whis actually decides to help out Trunks and Mai. He basically says, like, look, I think I can help you guys. I'm going to go back. I can take you back in time to before your world was completely destroyed by Zamasu. And I will speak to the Lord Beerus of your timeline, and we will end Zamasu again. So, but this means that it's another branch in the timeline, and because of that, there's going to be 2 Trunkses, and there's going to be 2 Mais. So, but they decide, you know what? That's okay. We're gonna live with that. So now, if we ever get Trunks and Mai back from their timeline, we're gonna have 2 of them, which is really cool. And then Trunks and Mai say goodbye, and that's the end of this arc. Friggin' finally, this took such a long time. I love this arc. It was really great. I initially had some problems with Zamasu as a villain because I thought it was kind of weird because it seems like they went to such great lengths to try to make him make sense. Because, basically, in the altered timeline, they killed all the Kais so that none of them would oppose Zamasu. And then that, in turn, killed all the Destroyers, because the Destroyers and the Supreme Kais are linked together. Which is an interesting development we had this season, or this arc. And because of that, all the angels, all the attendants, all the Whis, they actually were deactivated. So, that, I don't know. And, Zamasu becomes the Supreme Kai of the 10th universe, but there's a little window, a gap of time between Goasu's death and Zamasu becoming the Supreme Kai, to where the Destroyer of the 10th universe dies. They really stretched that. And, oh god, my throat hurts now. This is what I do for you guys. I hurt my throat so I can talk to you about anime. Alright, and then, oh, okay. And then Zamasu is incredibly well acted. I will say that. He's amazingly acted. But some of the writing can get a little annoying with Zamasu because and I always bring up Eric from Blind Wave, but as Eric put it best, Zamasu is so far up his own ass. It is ridiculous how amazing he thinks he is. And all the stuff with saying the mortals are horrible and stuff like that, it's like, that gets a little old, but he is still interesting, it's still cool, and it's still fun. And we got some great fights. I wish it lasted a bit longer, because in one episode we got Goku's Kamehameha and the Kaioken, Vegito Blue versus Fusion Zamasu, and Trunks killing Zamasu with the Spirit Sword. All that happened in one episode. If this was Dragon Ball Z, that'd be like 10 episodes. We'd get at least 5 episodes dedicated to Vegito Blue. So yeah, it's interesting, but at the same time it did work, because I was never like, oh, well, man, if this only went a little longer. I was like, well, no, it still works. It just, I don't know, leave them wanting more, I guess. That's the moral of this. So yeah, really, really love this arc. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up now. And yeah, now the next arc is like 55 episodes long, apparently. So I actually looked, and I mapped out when the next arc finishes in the dub, and it's gonna be next September. It's gonna be a while. So I don't know, maybe I'll do some in between videos. Okay, I know. First off, I believe, when are we doing this? Next week I'm going to be reviewing almost all the Dragon Ball movies. Most of them, not all of them. I'm going to be going from movie 8, which is The Revenge of Cooler, all the way through movie 16, which is Wrath of the Dragon. And I'm also going to be doing the GT movie, A Hero's Legacy, and I'm going to be doing the 2 specials on Bardock, the father of Goku, and the history of Trunks. All that in one review, which will probably be longer than this now that I think about it, yeesh, but... So, there's going to be that, and then I know that between the Zamasu arc and the next arc, there's a handful of episodes that are just kind of filler. I will be reviewing those once those finish up, and then who knows what the heck I'm going to do for the next arc of Dragon Ball Super. Who knows, but we will definitely see. So yeah, with all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this really, really long episode, this really, really long video about Dragon Ball Super. If you want to watch more of my Dragon Ball videos, I've got the playlist down here. You can check out other videos over here. You can hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and you can follow me on social media, links below in the description. Bye.